Hello everyone. It's great to see you again in today's video. In the luxurious and cozy living room, Jack sat next to his mother on a set of exquisitely carved wooden tables and chairs. Jack and his mother chatted happily, their faces shining with happiness and closeness. She asked about Jack's health and the results of his checkup yesterday. She asked if Jack still felt tired. Jack replied that he had improved a lot and now felt very healthy. While the conversation was going on, Tu Tien brought out drinks. She mixed 2 cups of hot milk to invite the two of them. Then she sat down to join the conversation. Jack said he was looking to rent a space to prepare to open his own company. Tu Tien worried about Jack and told him to do something, but he needed to stay healthy first because he had just recovered from an illness. She was very worried. Jack held her hand tightly and looked at her lovingly as a promise. Jack's mother gently and kindly advised her 2 children to take care of their health and not to overwork themselves, especially when their new life was gradually stabilizing. Jack's mother also said that Tu Tien, especially after yesterday's checkup, came back from the doctor's office and said that her health had improved, and she was very happy. She told Tu Tien to only go to harvest in places near home and not to carry too much stuff, because she was afraid that Tu Tien would get tired and it would affect her health. Tu Tien listened attentively to each of her instructions, then smiled slightly and nodded. Jack immediately held the hands of 2 people. One was his mother and the other was the person he loved the most. He expressed his feelings clearly to the 2 women he loved the most. Jack thanked the 2 people who were always by his side. Jack said he just wished to have good health so that he could take care of the 2 people's lives. Then the 2 of them leaned their heads on Jack's shoulders, as if to prove that he was always the support of the whole family. The 3 of them laughed and talked happily together, their eyes filled with sympathy and understanding. They created a warm family picture, full of love and sharing. The scene appeared peaceful and happy, a small family building the future together. While the family was sitting, someone came in from outside. It was Uncle Dung, Jack's mother's boyfriend. He heard that Jack was sick, so he came to visit and asked about Jack's health. Jack immediately thanked him for coming to visit him and said that he was feeling much better now. Then Jack's mother suddenly told him that yesterday she met an uncle in the same commune who told her that he wanted to rent out his house. She said that the house was not far from Jack's house and was very suitable for Jack to open a company office. She told Jack to contact him to try to exchange it. Jack immediately got his mother's phone number, called to exchange it, and then he made an appointment to come see the house. Jack told his mother that he would go to that house now to see it. If he could, he would rent it. Jack's mother immediately agreed. Jack turned to Tu Tien and asked her to go with him to see the house. Tu Tien did not hesitate to agree. She went upstairs to get her things and prepared to go with him. Jack also went into the room to get the money. If he could, he would deposit the rent. After getting the things, Tu Tien went to the chair to wait for Jack. Jack's mother complimented her on the beautiful shirt she was wearing today. It looked very suitable for her.
Tu Tien smiled shyly.
After a while, Jack also went out. Tu Tien gave Jack a cup of milk. After Jack finished drinking, the 2 of them said goodbye to his mother and Uncle Dung. Jack told him to stay and play with his mother while he and Tu Tien had to go to work now. Jack's car was parked on the side of the road. Jack and Tu Tien got out of the car. The 2 of them stood in front of a house. They looked at the whole house from the outside. Then they both went inside the house. Inside, the landlord was waiting for the 2 of them. Jack told him that he wanted to visit around the house. The landlord immediately took the 2 of them to visit each room. Jack carefully walked and looked around. He went up to the 2nd floor of the house. While looking at each room, Jack nodded and said that he was very satisfied with the spacious space of the house, which was very suitable for an office. Jack asked Tu Tien's opinion to see how she saw this house. Tu Tien said that she also saw that this house was spacious and she was very satisfied. After visiting, the 3 of them went to the living room to continue talking and negotiating about renting the house. Jack asked the landlord what price he wanted to rent it for, and the landlord immediately said that he wanted to sell the house now. If Jack wanted to buy it, he would sell it to him. Hearing that, Jack was quite surprised because his first intention was to just come to rent the house. He turned to ask Tu Tien for her opinion on whether he should buy the house. Tu Tien shyly said that she really liked the house. If Jack could buy it, it would be very convenient for his work. When encouraged by Tu Tien, Jack immediately asked the landlord how much he wanted to sell the house for. When the two had agreed on a reasonable price, Jack went to the car to get money to put down a deposit in advance for the purchase price. He also brought a sales contract that he had drafted in advance and gave it to the landlord to sign. The landlord carefully reviewed the contract and both signed all the sales agreements, which Jack carried out very quickly, similar to his quick and efficient way of working. When the contract was signed and the money was received, the landlord gave Jack the house key and promised to finish the paperwork and then hand it over to Jack. Then he asked permission to leave first. The landlord left. Tu Tien congratulated Jack on buying the house and she praised Jack for his quick work. Jack looked at Tu Tien and smiled slightly. Then Jack took out his phone from his pocket and called the repair team. He said that tomorrow he would have workers come in to fix the house so that his office would be up and running as soon as possible. Hearing that, Tu Tien went out and grabbed a broom. She was about to go clean the house when Jack stopped her. He said that tomorrow the workers would come and it would be very dirty, so there was no need to sweep. Now he would take her home to rest. When he got home, Jack gave Tu Tien some water to drink and then he told her to go upstairs to rest while he went into his room to do some work, and then the two of them went to their rooms. When he entered Jack's room, he immediately sat down at the table and started working on the unfinished work. Suddenly there was a knock on the door of the room. Tu Tien walked in. In her hand was a plate of fruit and a cup of hot milk she had just made for Jack. Tu Tien sat down next to Jack and said that Jack was about to open a company and that he would have a lot of work and she was very worried about his health. Jack immediately held Tu Tien's hand and comforted her, telling her not to worry because she would try her best to do everything. Then Tu Tien said that she had just seen a ripe mulberry tree nearby and she wanted to go up there to harvest it and then sell it at the market. She wanted to earn some extra income to help Jack. Hearing that, Jack told her not to worry, he could still take care of everything right now. If it was too boring at home, she could go harvest. Jack told her not to carry too much because it would be heavy and tiring. Tu Tien nodded slightly and listened to Jack. Then she told him to work now. She went up to change clothes and get ready to leave early. Tu Tien went up to the changing room. She said goodbye to Jack. She told him to stay home and work. She would go harvest for a while and then come back. Jack went out and told Tu Tien to be careful and come back early. Tu Tien walked on her back, carrying a bamboo basket, a familiar item for her when she went to harvest. In the middle of the hill, there is a tall tree growing on the hillside. The canopy covers a corner of Tu Tien Hill. It looks very small when approaching the tree. It is a mulberry tree full of fruit. Today Tu Tien came here to harvest its fruit. Tu Tien stood under the canopy of the mulberry tree full of fruit, clusters of red mulberries peeking out through the lush green leaves. The sunlight gently filtered through the leaves, shining on her face, revealing a gentle and passionate expression. She gently lifted each cluster of fruit, admiring the bright red color like small gems. The gentle fragrance of ripe fruit mixed with the wind made the space peaceful and fragrant. Under the canopy of the ripe red mulberry tree, Tu Tien skillfully climbed up each sturdy branch. The clusters of berries were plump and bright red like small gems swaying in the wind. Her hands quickly picked each cluster of mulberry, carefully putting them into the basket on her back. Sweat beaded on her forehead, but her eyes still shone with joy and passion. Beside the colorful mulberry tree, Tu Tien seemed to blend into nature, gentle, rustic, and full of life. The space seemed to quiet down, only the rustling of leaves, the sound of ripe fruit falling into the basket, and the diligent figure of the little girl in the middle of the lush green garden remained. When Tu Tien had picked a full basket of fruit, She carefully climbed down from the tree and slowly walked down the hill, carrying on her back a heavy basket of sweet fruit. At Jack's house, a friend who was a lawyer came to see Jack. He brought the documents and papers related to Jack's upcoming company establishment. The day before, Jack asked his friend to do all the paperwork, related procedures to help him register to establish the company. Jack's friend gave him the documents and told Jack that starting from today, Jack's company had been established, had its own company name, and the director of the company was Jack. Jack carefully read the documents that his friend gave him, then he thanked his friend for helping him quickly. Now Jack just needed to recruit more employees and it would be done. After handing over the documents, Jack's friend stood up, shook his hand and congratulated him on having his own company. Then Jack's friend asked permission to leave because there was still a lot of work to do. After harvesting the fruit, Tu Tien carried the mulberries to the market in town to sell. When she arrived at the market, Tu Tien quickly found a place to sit. She took one out of her bag and told her to brush it on the roadside, then poured out the ripe red mulberries that had just been picked and began inviting people to buy them. The bunches of ripe, plump strawberries, with a brilliant red-purple color, were neatly arranged by her, standing out under the morning sunlight. Her hair was tied up, her face was tanned, but her eyes still shone with a gentle, kind look. The market gradually became crowded, with people coming and going bustlingly. Tu Tien's mulberry stall suddenly became a stop for many people. Many people were surprised by this fruit because it had been a long time since they had seen it. Some even said that this fruit could only be found in the forest, and that if you wanted to eat it, you had to go into the forest to pick it. For people in town, this mulberry was very rare and could hardly be bought. Tu Tien smiled and said she had just picked the fruit from the forest and brought it back here to sell. The fruit was still very fresh and delicious. Everyone wanted to choose for themselves the bunches of red, plump strawberries that had just been picked from the garden. Hands reached out to choose each sweet fruit. Bustling conversations, laughter mixed with asking for prices rang out endlessly. The sweet and sour aroma of strawberries spread throughout the market, holding the feet of passers-by. Tu Tien was busy selecting the fruit, wrapping the goods, then calculating the money for the buyers, her face radiant with a little sweat. The bustling and warm scene was like a vivid countryside painting, where the small strawberries carried both human affection and the flavor of summer. Then Tu Tien suddenly thought that Jack probably hadn't tried this fruit yet, so she picked each delicious and juicy fruit to bring home for Jack to try. Because of this rare fruit, buyers kept coming and going, and in no time Tu Tien's strawberries were all sold out. Tu Tien was very happy because she didn't think that this fruit would be so popular with the people in town. When Tu Tien's strawberries were all sold out, she packed up her things and left. Jack was at home and had not seen Tu Tien return. He was worried, so he took out his phone and called her. Knowing that Tu Tien was on her way home, he felt relieved. Jack went into the kitchen to prepare food to cook and waited for Tu Tien to return. When Jack was in the kitchen, Tu Tien also returned. She immediately went in to see what Jack was doing. On the table, she was carrying a bag of strawberries that she had chosen and left for Jack. Seeing Tu Tien, Jack immediately went out and asked her if she was tired from harvesting today. Jack told Tu Tien to sit down on a chair to rest. Then he went to get her a drink. Tu Tien also told Jack to sit down and gave Jack a strawberry to try. Jack smiled on his face and gently peeled and tried the fruit that he had never eaten before. Jack praised this fruit as very delicious. While peeling it for him, Tu Tien told him about how she brought the fruit to the market to sell. This fruit probably did not exist in the market, so when she brought the fruit out to sell, in just a short while, many people came to buy it and she sold it out quickly. The two of them chatted happily with each other. Then Jack told Tu Tien to finish drinking water, change clothes, rest, wait for him to finish cooking, and wait for his mother to come home to eat together. Tu Tien listened to Jack. She went into the room to change clothes, and Jack went to cook. Seeing Jack standing in the kitchen cooking, she was truly the image of a man who knew how to take care of his family and always loved his wife and children.